What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. New video. I'm doing this video because of all the untruths that are being told. You know, a half truth is a whole lie. I talk about that all the time. I'm seeing a lot of videos made by guys that never had a life sentence, that never went to the parole board. I'm hearing them give all these facts, actually give a lot of misinformation on what it takes to parole from California nowadays. And so I was like, you know what? Let me put this out here on behalf of all the lifers and to make sure that people have a clear and proper understanding of what's necessary and what's needed here. So about 10 years ago, California shifted its policies thanks to the Anti-Recidivism Coalition. Anybody that wants to help that place, that wants to donate to that place, offer their time to that place, offer any services to that place, Anti-Recidivism Coalition in Los Angeles, California. Look them up. They can always use help. They're doing a lot of really good stuff, right? Scott Budnick is originally from Atlanta. He's a big-time Hollywood producer. And he produced the Hangover movies, War Dogs, like a bunch of movies. Very successful guy. He started volunteering to go to the juvenile halls in LA and teach kids how to write and a bunch of different stuff, right? And when he was volunteering, he was meeting these kids that were 13, 14, and 15 years old. And they were facing 50 years to life, 100 years to life, life itself. And he's like, what the hell? Long story short, no Democrat or Republican that was in office in California wanted to change the laws. They were fine with juveniles getting that type of time. Throw away their lives. Give them nothing to live for a decision they made at 13, 14, or 15 years old. Okay? Scott Budnick, with the money he had, the connections he had, got money and people together and changed what was going on in California. Okay? So, I saw a video today. Somebody told me that there was a YouTuber who normally never says anything bad about me. Now all of a sudden he's riding another dude's coattails, where I may do a video on that. On that other, I don't know. I'm trying to stay away from the toxic stuff, man. I really am. But this person made a statement, as a lot of these dudes who have never, ever had a life sentence do these videos. And they erroneously say, in order for you to get a life sentence to get found suitable for parole as a lifer, you have to have been a model inmate. There's no such thing. You had to have never been involved in anything. Well, let me tell you something. First of all, I paroled with over 100 points. And I didn't have petty write-ups. And I know these dudes are nitpicking. Oh, well, we went through his board report, this, and that. I held leadership position in several spots. Every hit that went down, everything that went down, I played a part in. If the board wanted to release other things that they were aware of from my confidential folder, everyone that knows they had to issue me a 1030 on the spot. And if they do that, they're not giving me the ability to defend myself at that hearing from that 1030 form. But guys that have never been in the life, guys that were never a part of anything, and guys that were never lifers don't understand these things. Let me give you the reality. In order to get to let me rephrase that. In order to give yourself the best opportunity at being found suitable by the California Department of Corrections, BPH, you have to have a minimum 5 years, no 115s, no write-ups, no 128s. 5 years, not 10 years, not 30 years, not 50 years, not 1,000 years, not model convict. You have to give them a minimum 5 years, no write-ups. That's just a start though. Because you know what's more important? What's most important? You have to develop personal insight on why you justified killing people or killing a person. Why you justified in your mind carrying a gun or carrying a knife, using it against people. What made you tick? What made you go from being an innocent child to a cold-blooded killer? What tools have you developed through self-help that you can apply to circumstances and situations that you will encounter in the free world that you're not used to in the criminal world? As long as you can convey that you are no longer the person who you were 20, 30 years ago when you were a damn teenager and caught that case, as long as you're able to answer every question with a tool you learned in self-help, you will be found suitable. These dudes say, let me tell you something. Thousands and thousands of ex-lifers on active and SNY yards have gone home in the last 10 years. It's a fallacy for people to say, oh yeah, you can't be active and go home. Bullshit. You just better not be getting kites dropped on you for being involved in political stuff. And anybody that's been on the yards knows there's a lot of dudes that don't get involved in politics. And also, another thing to clear up and make sure that everybody understands, most of the kites that do get dropped are on active yards because there's active, real life, violent, and deadly things going on. I just find it so funny, man, how people who are never, ever lifers speak on what it takes to convince the parole board that you're suitable for parole and you're no longer a threat to society. I would also like to point out the fact that all these dudes don't understand that the recidivism rate for a lifer and a long-term offender, 20 years or more incarcerated, is less than 1%. Because we were never supposed to get out. We understood what it meant to sit there, supposed to die in that place. We get out here and we become productive members of society. That's why I laugh when people, hey, why don't you go fight this guy? Why don't you go fight that guy? I'm a productive member of society. I don't go around trying to fight anybody. I will definitely defend myself though. Definitely. Unlike a lot of these squares that keep talking like that, I have a history of violence. I am no longer the person that I was. If people dislike me, they have their reasons. I don't care. It does not change who I really am. No matter what anybody says about me, no matter what anybody says about you, it doesn't make it true. But these dudes that keep getting on here and acting like they know what time it is, you weren't a lifer? Say, hey, I wasn't a lifer. You know what? I really can't answer that question. Don't just gossip to gossip. I don't know. That's just the way I see things. You wouldn't do it on the yard. I know YouTube has a lot of people very comfortable dabbling in gossip, talking about things they weren't involved in, talking about other people's experiences, saying a whole bunch of stuff. If you're on the yard, you wouldn't do it. So show your class, show your schooling, show your education, and teach people how to be better in life. That's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.